You mere mortals, what do you guys know about the nectar of the gods? Introducing the Jigger and Dash mead making kit. So mead is actually an alcoholic beverage made by fermenting a combination of honey, yeast, and water. Mead is also otherwise known as liquid gold or honey wine. So let's do a quick unboxing and see what this is all about. The name is pretty interesting, Jigger and Dash. Alright, let's see. Wow, this is exciting. My very first mead making kit. I am not going to lie, guys. I'm a beer drinker and I've never tasted mead. Supposedly it's it's probably the oldest alcoholic beverage known to man. Alright, so straight out of the packaging, here are the contents. 1 gallon glass carboy. You see right there, mead, the drink of the gods. And a rubber stopper. A 3-piece airlock, which goes on top. A racking cane, I think this is what it's known. I just call it a long straw. And a cap, alright. And also a tubing and clamp. This long tubing right here, along with this clamp. And you have a combination of sanitizer package and nutrient package, which is basically yeast, along with this wine yeast. All right. So looks like we're going to be doing some chemistry today, along with this collapsible funnel, and of course, the mead making instructions guide. This is day 1 of making mead. I bought this pail from our local hardware store. You could just use a pail or a tub that can hold 1 gallon of liquid, along with the equipment which will sanitize. So let's get started. So first, I am going to use half of the sanitizer and put it in a bathtub or the pail. Okay. Remember, keep half. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to pour the 1 gallon of water, which I already have in here. This is just warm tap water from the carboy into the pail. So basically what we're going to do is mix the components together. The sanitizer component doesn't require rinsing. It has the chemical compound which will cleanse and dry the equipment. Okay. So let's go ahead and give it a good shake. Make sure that's well mixed together. All right. Now I'm gonna use the funnel. We're not sanitizing the funnel yet. That's gonna come later. First, we're gonna sanitize the carboy. All right. So with that, we're gonna pour this in here until it fills all the way. And the trick is you can use this as a straw to make sure that the mixture is dissolved. So actually, we're not going to fill it all the way up because we need to shake it. Shake it, shake it, work that forearm muscles, the biceps. Make sure you get it all nice and clean. Okay, after you're done mixing that, we're going to pour it back into the pail, in the tub. All right, and then we're going to put all of the equipment, such as the measuring cup, this is needed. Sanitize that. The funnel, the air lock. Okay, all three parts of the airlock. Make sure you open that up so it's soaked in there. All right, and also the cap and the stopper. Let that soak for about a minute. The reason why we are not sanitizing the hose and the capping is because that's during the bottling process, which takes 30 days. So we don't want to clean those yet. After the 1 minute is up, we can take all the parts out and let it dry. Now is step number 2 where we rehydrate the yeast. So I'll be using the D47 and Nutrients Packet 1. So I'm using filtered boiled water. And it's warm, about 90 degrees. So I'm going to fill it to about 100 milliliters. Okay. Right there. I'm going to pour the whole packet of D47 to here. And that smells like vitamin C. And then add the Nutrients Packet 1, the whole thing. And then I'm going to stir it, mix it with a clean spoon. Mix that in real good. And then once it's done mixing, we're going to let that sit and marinate for about 20 minutes. All right, you guys ready for step number 3? Here comes the fun part. I'm going to fill the carboy halfway, half gallon of water. Again, this is filtered boiled water. So let's go ahead and fill it halfway. All right, so that's about half a gallon of water. And I'm going to transfer the yeast mixture because I need to use measuring cup to another clean cup. Okay. And I'll be using this to measure the honey. I'm using this honey. It's preferred to use natural and filtered honey, raw honey. And I'll be pouring, the recipe calls for 40 ounce, so you guys do the math. So 3 times of that, I'm pouring it to about 12.5 ounces of honey for the first batch. Add the honey to the carboy. Then I'm going to put a stopper to the carboy and place a thumb over it and shake until the honey is dissolved. Give it a good workout, guys. Shake it until it's all dissolved. Here is the second pour. A correction, I meant 13.5 ounces of honey, not 12.5 ounces. Again, put a stopper on. And with one thumb on there, shake it until it's all dissolved. Here is the final and third batch. I'm starting running out on honey. Same process. Well, after the third mix, now we finally have our must, which is unfermented wine. All right, so now we can add water to the 1 gallon mark. There's the 1 gallon mark right there. Once again, I'm gonna put the stopper on here and give it a real good shake. This time for 1 minute. Make sure everything is dissolved and looking real nice and ready. Now we're gonna add the rehydrated yeast mix that we transferred to this cup. Okay. Now is when we will add the nutrient packet 2 into the must. Next step, I'm gonna use a clean paper towel to wipe dry the carboy opening and the stopper with paper towel. Make sure that's real clean and hygienic. All right. Then I'm gonna put the stopper on the carboy. Put the airlock with the cap off into the stopper, all right? And then I am going to insert the piston. Now I'm going to pour water into the airlock to the fill line. Okay. Put the cap back on. Let's sit for 24 hours, recording the time. Look for a cool, dark place to place this. I think the kitchen pantry would be the perfect place. So you want to keep it around 63 degrees to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I think a good location would be in the pantry here. Cool, dark place. Welcome back. It's day 2 of making mead. This is the degassing stage. So what you want to do is loosen the stopper and give it a swirl to relieve the gas buildup. So I'm going to simply loosen that a little bit. Okay. And then give it a very good swirl. I'm going to use my right hand. I would say about 30 seconds would be good. And then we're going to let the foam subside. All right, after the foam has subsided, you want to give it a swirl one more time, but this time for several minutes. The purpose of this is that it will help remove carbon dioxide and give the yeast a healthy boost. So it's going to be a good workout. Carefully swirl that for a couple of minutes. After the swirl, again, let the foam subside. There you see the bubbles went into the airlock. All right. After the foam has subsided, we are going to put the stopper back on tight and store it in a cool, dry place as before for about 7 days for that additional fermentation. All right, welcome back. It's day 7. Now we're going to add the nutrients packet 3 slowly into the carboy and give it a swirl. If it develops foam, add this gradually. All right, so we are going to remove the stopper. Okay. Again, slowly. Don't add the whole thing, of course. I'll do a half. I hear it fizzing a little bit. See the foam developing? So you're gonna give it a good 1 minute swirl. Okay, after the foam has subsided, I'm going to pour the remaining nutrient packets in there. And this time I'm going to give it a swirl for give it a nice good shake. Make sure everything is mixed in for about another minute. Now if this gets full, just simply remove the cap and pour out half of the buildup. So I actually should have shook it without the airlock being in there, because we're going to add the airlock once the foam has subsided. Alright, the foam has pretty much subsided. Put the rubber stepper back in along with the airlock. Alright, so now it's recommended fermentation aging for at least 3 more weeks for a combined total of 30 days. Because this is day 7, so when you reach day 30, it will be ready to be bottled. But of course, like fine wine, the longer you ferment it, the better tasting it would be. And for the next 2 weeks, what you want to do is shake it every few days to assist with the fermentation and reduction in gas buildup. And for the final week, you would just simply let it rest. My mead is almost ready to be bottled. Let me show you this trick to shake it a little bit every day to help with the fermentation process. So lean in against something soft like the armrest of your sofa, and then instead of holding it like this will support the weight, and with this cushioning, just give it a good shake. Shake it. Yeah. Give it a good shake. All right, so today is actually April 16th. 74 days, so roughly 2 months. I let it ferment for well over the 30 days recommendation, but like fine wine, the longer you age it, the better it will taste. As you can see right here, the mead has turned clear. All right, now it's time for the bottling process. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put the rest of the sanitizer package into the tub to sanitize these 3 bottles along with the rack and cane and also the tubing along with the stopper. So if you have a rectangular tube or container, it'll probably be easier to perform this part, but I have a pail to work with. All right, so what you want to do is soak the accessories I mentioned for about 1 minute. Same for the bottles. Now I can wipe everything dry. I have a bowl of water. What I'm going to do is close out the clamp on the tubing on one end so water doesn't leak out. And I'm gonna fill this tubing with water. So make sure it's filled all the way to the end. It might be easier to just go to the faucet and make sure it's filled with water. Then I'm gonna insert the end of the racking cane into the tubing, open end. All right. And then I'm gonna remove the stopper of the carboy and insert with the stopper with the red end into the carboy. Now comes the fun part. So what I want to do is put the carboy on a higher surface than the actual bottles, because we're going to use gravity and physics to transfer the liquid. So here we go. So I'm going to let go of the stopper, and as soon as I see the mead starting to transfer over, I'm going to close this. See the mead right now? All right. So I'm just going to simply do this. All right, is that taste test? Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Literally a shot. Oh, smells heavenly. I'm gonna take a shot of this. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, that goes down smooth. I taste that honey sweetness, but it's not overwhelming because of the type of honey and the amount that I put in there. So you prefer something sweeter, definitely add a more sophisticated and increase the honey content. Just play around with it, different spices, many different kind of meads that you can make. Wow, this is truly a fun process. It's a little bit of hard work, but you reap the benefits because it's a money savings and it's a new skill that you get to learn. Now I know why the Romans and the Greeks and even the Chinese loved making mead. Now you can make it yourself with the mead making kit.